Hi, we are at Sungates Center Studio, radio studio, and our phone number is 847-345-0998. And it's www.sungatecenter.com. Today we have a big event. It's a healing circle at Sungate Center. And our guest here, Michael Soto, ambassador of Healing Circle, and Peggy also healer, very famous one, but she has different modality. And my first question is to Peggy. Peggy, what's your actually strong skills of healing people?
What I've been told from people I've worked with is that I'll just say this: I hold a space of unconditional love. That there's nothing you can come in with that's going to throw me off course. It's really important to not bring your own history, your own issues, any kind of prejudices or thoughts about what anybody presents with into the healing circle or into the healing space. I find that for me, healing is actually a very sacred kind of work to do. I try to be lighthearted with a lot of things, but it's I'm touching your vessel, your body, and it's a very holy kind of. I'm honored that you've chosen to work with me, and I'm honored and blessed that Spirit works through me to affect somebody else's life, and I find it to be a very sacred, very personal kind of thing. That being said, people only go as far as they go, and there's only so much is going to come up in a short amount of time. For real healing to happen, it ends up being an ongoing process, because most things don't. Even a cut in your hand doesn't heal in a day, in a second. It's an ongoing process, and the more you do it, the more the energy moves through you, the more open you are to how the energy moves, the more you are affected by it, and it's accumulative. And it's magical to watch people really blossom and grow, and their lives totally transform as they continue down a healing path. And the other thing about healing, any of the healing modalities, they work perfectly well with any kind of Western medicine. There's nothing that's contradictory to any kind of healing, the kind of healing work that the healers do. Whether you need psychiatric work, or you're on medication, or you need surgery, we just enhance and balance the body so whatever else anybody else does is actually more beneficial in a way, I would think.
Peggy, I have a question. You use a combination of Western and Eastern approach, so you sometimes do massage, physical massage,
right,
touching the body. What is the best you like more? It's Western or Eastern energy work or physical work, doing something like massage?
That's an interesting question. I thought that I could only do just, I was trained in healing touch, which is really, generally speaking, off the body. You don't get to manipulate anything. And I really love healing touch and Reiki and and I have many modalities I've learned about. Being trained as a naturopath, it was very much hands-on. And I've learned from people from receiving body work that often when the person doesn't even realize how much pain their body is in. So by actually physically touching them, and they go, oh my gosh, oh that hurts, oh that hurts too, that there's a different awareness of how much their body needs. We need to be touched. One of my catchphrases is, I can tickle you, but I can't tickle me. It's hard for me, even when I do my own energy work, to affect me, but I can totally affect somebody else. So by manipulating the muscles, by getting in there, by showing them what's going on, and then running energy through a muscle, I love using the combination because I find that to be the most powerful. That being said, some people don't think they want energy work, and other people don't want to be touched. So I have the best of both worlds, that I can go either way, and that if you don't want energy work, okay, not that it ever stops.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, it doesn't go away, but we can do it either way.
Right, but I know, Michael, you don't use physical touch. You use energy work, something mostly not touching.
I do touch my clients,
Uh-huh.
but I also work off of them too. I work both ways. It depends on what the client needs. I have done clients where I have done massage.
How do you know that? You figure it out, or you asking people?
I'm an intuitive. So I intuit that this is what they need, and then I go with that. Okay.
Because maybe they don't know even.
Exactly, exactly. Most people don't know what they need, but when you begin to work with them and their field opens up to you and you open your own field up to them, your energy field, you begin to see what they need and how to work with them best for what they need, okay? So they can have a good experience and feel comfortable, feel safe, and heal at the same time, okay?
How does your shamanic, I would say, skills helping you for what you do here in energy circle, healing circle?
Well, a lot of people come with what we call a lot of baggage, okay? And it allows me to remove that baggage of beings that are coming with them that they don't need, that are causing problems and havoc in their life. And so I do that on a very quiet basis. I don't talk about it too much because I find most people, if you begin to talk, they're not aware of what it is. They can go into fear. Fear will stop the healing process, and they begin to run with their mind. And you don't want them to get into their head. You want them just to be in the healing experience and let that settle in and let them help them on whatever level they need. You know, I've been in instances where I remember when I went to Florida my first time at the healing circle there, I was working with a woman, and the woman who became my Reiki master said he's okay to work with, and I could tell the woman I was working with did not want me to touch her. Okay? So I only took her hand and held her hand during the whole process and did nothing else. And then she opened her eyes and looked at me and said, I feel safe with you, you can touch me.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? This is the type of rapport we try to create as healers with our clients. We want them to feel safe so they can open to the experience and they can heal beautifully. And I've had things happen where people just, everything breaks open. They start crying, and the nose is going, the mouth is going, the eyes are going, and they've had like 2 years worth of experience and healing, and they've gone back to their therapist and said, you've been like 2 years of healing, and I've seen you for 2 years and you've not gone this far. What did you do? Healing work can dramatically accelerate the healing process, okay, according to what you need.
Okay, question to you both. Do you believe or do you do the healing work to group of people same time, or it's a one-on-one individual basis only?
Would you like to go with that first?
Yes, please.
And then I'll finish.
You'll finish. Okay. Okay. Personally, I've taken a lot of healing classes. I've done a lot of group work. I've done a lot of one-on-one work. Again, part of it is what you need. A lot of people don't feel safe in a group setting to have a meltdown. You have to be really strong and able to just do your own thing. I've been in a class with an amazing person from California who, generally speaking, I don't do well in a group setting. I'm very much, kind of an in-cave person. But this person held such a great strength in himself and what he was able to do that I was able to really do well with my inner work, with him holding space and getting a lot of my work done. I was very grateful. That being said, I've been other places where it was a waste of my time. So it's part of why Michael is here holding space and being an ambassador is he holds sacred space so that everybody who comes in feels safe enough to do their own work. And in that setting, I think the healing circle is really powerful.
Yes, it is. And it is about holding space and keeping that. But I also do work, not only individually, I work in groups, but I work a little differently when I work with a group.
What is more effective way, group or individual one? Or we cannot say it?
Probably both can be very powerful. Depends what the people need. It's always easier to do individual because you can focus everything on them that's coming through instead of focusing on a number of people. But when I do a number of people, I go around energetically and take from them what is their problem and put it into a composite person in the middle, and then I heal the composite. So all of them are being healed at one time.
Well, and one of the really nice things about a group of people that are willing to share is that sometimes we don't remember that we're having an issue with that, and like when we did this work with someone else, they would talk. People would go around and say, "I've got this," and say, "Oh, I can relate to that," or "Oh, I forgot about that," or "Oh my gosh, that's my story too." So in that context, a lot more things can happen in a group setting at one time because so many issues and so many levels of healing are released than than in an individual one. So both, like you said, both have their space and their place to do that kind of work. I invite people to participate in both things all the time because both of them really do have their place.
Absolutely.
Okay, thank you. And last question. You working with the pets?
Absolutely. Pets are wonderful to work with. Yeah.
Do you
Yes.
feel different working with people or working with animal?
Sometimes people come in and don't realize that they're blocking. They have a lot of fear. And actually, pets can have fear also. But they're easier to work with in that they don't carry the same kind of baggage in the same way that people do. And it can be a really beautiful experience to connect with an animal's soul and their soul group, and it's just a really cool experience. People too, but it's just a different kind of
Michael,
way to
you
work.
have said?
I think animals in a certain way are easier because they don't have the baggage people do. I was working on a musician in Chicago, and he had a dog, and the doctors were certain that he had cancer in the throat, and I kept
Musician or
the
dog?
musician.
Okay.
Okay. And I kept saying, no, it doesn't feel like it. You have a tumor there, but it does not feel like cancer. And they were 95% sure. And they went in and they took it out. But in the time I was treating him, I also gave his dog some treatments. Now, I didn't know what was going on with the dog, but I could feel that there was a problem. And the dog would come up to me, and animals will come up for as long as they want it, and then they leave. They know how much they need, and then they go when they're done. Or they're filled, if you want to put it that way. So when this person came back from his surgery, he said, "You're right, it was not cancer, it was a very rare tumor." And they were very surprised. And by the way, my dog had cancer, he no longer has cancer.
Mhm.
And these things can happen that easily.
And pets often, my experience is that, we're so close and we live in energetic harmony with our pets and the people around us that, there's a vibration and our pets will work with us and try and help us to heal things. And they'll lay on different parts of our body or they'll come up and I can, actually when my pets come up and lay with me, I can feel their energy and I can feel my body's energy being shifted and harmonized by my pet's energy. And it's when you get that tuned in, it's an amazing experience. And our pets are more than we can begin to imagine.
I agree with that, but we also have to be very careful because our pets will take our diseases on and die for us. So if you have something, you really have to take care of yourself and you have to do something about it if you have a pet, because you don't want your pet to take it on. At least I don't. I don't want my animals to take anything on and die for me. It makes me much more aware of where I'm at, what I'm dealing with, and what I'm going through so that they do not have to take it on.
But sometimes our pets are healing us.
Yes, they absolutely. My animals heal me all the time. I could be on bed and all of a sudden I have like 4 of them on me and it's like, okay guys, Daddy needs healing. So, it's good, but I make certain that they're not taking on more than what they can handle.
I've actually had one of my dogs. I had a dog who was a healer dog, and she would come downstairs and get on people all the time. But then, like the next day, she'd be like, I was like, oh, okay, thank you for reminding me. And I would work on clearing her off. And she actually made me aware of how powerful she was. I had a friend who had the shakes and was stuff going on. And the next time I saw her, she looked really good, and my dog was like not feeling so good. And it's like, wow, I made the connection. And then I did a lot of work with my dog to clear all that off. So
Yeah.
it is.
I've done the same.
Yeah,
And
it's.
I've also gone to the point where sometimes if my animal has taken on too much, I do not let them in the room when I'm healing somebody because they have to be in a clear enough space to be able to work with a person and not to take it on and to let it go. And if they're too overloaded, they can't always do that, and then they can get sick, and I don't want them to get sick. So I monitor my animals at the same time.
Is it, Michael, I know you have horses. Is it some difference between, let's say, dog, cat, and horse? In a matter of healing or getting healed.
It's somewhat different because dogs and cats will lay right next to you and get on you. Horses, you can't have them do that.
Little
You
But-
can be, right?
Yeah, I mean, I don't want them laying on top of me. I'd be squished. But they will come over and they will put their head in your stomach. Okay, and I've had them do that. I've had experience in Florida when I was an animal of mine had died, and I had gone down to do some work, and I just couldn't look at any horses at that point. And when I did go to the barn, this one horse came up to me, put his head right to my stomach, and just took everything out and said, "It's going to be okay." And then I was better, and I was fine. So they can do the most amazing things for us if we allow them and let them. And certain horses are healers. You know, the American natives knew that there were what they called healing ponies, and they would tie them to a tree with the person who was sick to let that horse help that person to heal.
I see. All right, dear friends, dear audience, I'd like to remind you we have at Sungates Center today. It's the first Wednesday of the month. Every first Wednesday of the month, we have Healing Circle here, and it started at 6:30 p.m., which is we are almost there. And our guest today, Michael Soto, ambassador of the Healing Circle, and Peggy Crow, a naturopathic doctor and healer as well, and again, famous one. So people come here, you'll get healed. Thank you very much, our guest, and I hope, I'm pretty sure, we will see you again and again, and we will continue our conversation, and people will get to know what's going on here at Sungate. Thank you.
Thank you
Thanks,
very
Michael.
much.